today. From Lumen Field in Seattle, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New York Giants.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto district of Seattle. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lawson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Up the middle they go. Lawson, boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And if you go by the numbers, he's had a Pro Bowl type season, and maybe that's even selling him a little bit short. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes to this point in the year, and with the end of the season not too far away, he's got his guys playing at a very high level.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. On the move to his left. He finds his man complete. That's Holloway. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. Now the try here for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
He finds his man, complete. That's Lawson. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg. But how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it?
Touchdown! A great play there. With his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Out route, and this is Henry with a catch. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The numbers last week for Tony. 6 catches, 91 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll set up to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Well, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go ahead and feed him the ball.
And the offensive line, I'm sure they're well aware of where he stands as well.
They are, and I think for them, it would be an even better accomplishment to get there now because it seems like a little bit of a reach.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off play action. Hall rolling to his left. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to widen their lead here in this first half. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On second down now, it's Lawson, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throw left side, complete to Moss. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Three yards remain for second down. Now back to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit will hold at 22. Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
Steps away. He finds his man complete. That's Holloway. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They go play action here on first down. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Seahawks will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully
getting down in bounds. That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Giants now going to take over late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something, taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Kadarius Toney, 75 yards. And the Giants get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down now to 22. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he's got some space here. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 96 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Back to Walker on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. George Pickens, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll move from Southern California to Southern Nevada as we head over to check on the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Josh Jacobs with a touchdown run. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville, see what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Laviska Shenault, a touchdown catch in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Taken in at the 3. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Off the play fake. Hall out to his left. He finds his man complete. It's Holloway. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And let's count him up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
So holding there on the return, and that'll back them up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression, jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Seattle. 49 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Here's Walker. 117 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal?
Walker once more. And this time he's in. Touchdown, Seattle. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Looking to throw. And caught by Henry. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On third down, it's Lawson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Elsewhere around the NFL, third quarter now in Los Angeles. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Kyler Murray, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On the move to his left. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
He'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot.
They'll look to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Off play action. Hall rolling to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Holloway. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, the ball now going back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick him off for the 2nd time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Well, partner, this offense 12-0 now on the year following their latest victory. And during the week, a lot of folks making comparisons between this.
And that is caught, and the record is his. It's a touchdown.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them in plus territory. Excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks.
They'll set up a throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape for this defensive coordinator.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer at 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we